Hello and welcome to the 8 o'clock news. I'm Priyanshi Sharma. Well, it has been a power-packed Monday to say the least. We'll get you the top news stories from the world of politics, economy and sports. Here's a quick look at the headlines of the day. The Maharashtra Pawar play escalates. The breakaway group led by NCP Chief Sharad Pawar's nephew Ajit Pawar follows the Shinde template, sacks the existing state chief Jayant Patil and appoints Sunil Tatkare. MP Praful Patel says Ajit Pawar is now the group leader of the new faction, while Sharad Pawar is still the national head. Even though Sharad Pawar takes stern action against these leaders, sacks MPs Praful Patel and Sunil Tatkare for quote-unquote secretive defections. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh holds a crucial security review meeting as ethnic violence in the northeastern state continues for 2 months now. NDTV gets you a special report on the aftermath of the violence, how the army, Assam Rifles are helping but only temporarily, and how hundreds of lives and more livelihoods have been lost. Industrialist and Reliance Group chief Anil Ambani questioned by the Enforcement Directorate in a case filed under the Foreign Exchange Management Act. The ED alleges Anil Ambani violated the foreign exchange law, according to sources. In a major setback for the Rashtriya Janata Dal or RJD, the CBI files a charge sheet against Bihar's Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav and his parents and former Chief Ministers Lalu Yadav and Rabri Devi in the Land for Jobs scam. Markets hit a record high for the third consecutive session. Foreign portfolio investments and a rally in global markets boost Indian markets. Our lead focus. The Maharashtra political drama has only escalated, with more questions emerging over which group is the real NCP now. As the power battle between NCP Chief Sharad Pawar and his nephew Ajit Pawar continues, the rebel group led by Ajit Pawar followed the same template that was set by the breakaway Shiv Sena faction led by Chief Minister Eknath Shinde last year. Now, the breakaway group of the NCP has appointed its own state leader and group leader, and they've sacked Jayant Patil, the state chief of the faction led by Sharad Pawar. Sunil Tatkare has been appointed as the new state chief, while Ajit Pawar is the group leader of the breakaway group. My colleague Sohit Mishra joining us for the latest. And Sohit, the breakaway group still maintains that their national leader is still Sharad Pawar. So still a lot of questions right now. And as they say, never a dull day in Maharashtra politics. So take us through the developments in this episode of this political drama.
Well, as you rightly said, this drama keeps on getting interesting every day. Now, there's a reason why the faction of Ajit Pawar is saying that Sharad Pawar is their leader and he will continue to be the party president. Now, what viewers need to understand is what I am saying again and again throughout the day, that Ajit Pawar as of now has no clarity on whether all the MLAs that were present in the meeting that day will be supporting him or not. That's why we don't see a number or a photo where Ajit Pawar will be flexing that, okay, I have the control over NCP. I am not ready to accept that if Ajit Pawar would have the control over NCP, he would not flex or make a big deal of it, or he would make this a show-off straight and do it in front of the cameras. He is not doing it because he knows that a lot of them are still not, are very confused and still not with him. Because the other MLAs have understood what happened in 2019. Ajit Pawar formed a government, but he had to come back to Sharad Pawar. Since Sharad Pawar has said that he does not have his blessing, and later last night the MLAs who took oath, action were taken against them by Jitendra Awad as well as Jayant Patil. So these MLAs who are confused till now, they thought, okay, some action is being taken, which means majority of them will be with Sharad Pawar. And that's the reason why we saw a press conference by all these top leaders, Praful Patel, Ajit Pawar, Chhagan Bhujbal, Sunil Tatkare, where they appointed their own team. And they said, okay, we will be taking action against Jitendra Awad and Jayant Patil. Now this shows that once again the MLAs are confused. They don't know where to go. And remember that these 9 leaders are in power, they are in the government, they have the backing of Shiv Sena as well as the BJP. So these MLAs have to make their own plan around what they need to do, because a meeting has been called on 5th of July, and there are 2 meetings. One has been called by Ajit Pawar and one has been called by Sharad Pawar. Where will the MLAs go? What will they be doing? This is a big question, and these MLAs don't have an answer. So that's why, be it Praful Patel, be it Ajit Pawar, they continue to say that Sharad Pawar is our leader and he is the national president. And by saying this, what they are trying to show or convince to their MLAs, okay, that we have the blessings of Sharad Pawar. But is it so? That's a big question that currently is present. We also heard Jitendra Awad few minutes back. Even he said that that is not the thing. So this entire drama will continue for the next few days, Priyanshi. But let me tell our viewers again that this is a big story that will be developing, because this is the 3rd time Ajit Pawar has become a deputy chief minister in the last 4 years. This is the 2nd party in the last 2 years that has split. Both were regional parties, and it is almost deja vu of what happened then, what is happening now. That time Eknath Shinde said, we are Shiv Sena, we did not leave Shiv Sena. Same is being said by Ajit Pawar now. Then they started to take action against those who did not join them. Now that is what Ajit Pawar is doing. Next step will be claiming over the party, and the indications for the same were given, because Ajit Pawar said that if we don't have the support, the ECI will take decision, which means they are making the arrangements for that. And yes, this is going to be the deja vu of what we saw last year. Last year it was 30th June when Eknath Shinde became the chief minister. This time it was 2nd of July when Ajit Pawar became the deputy chief minister.
Right, and it doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. So, thanks very much for joining us. As Supriya Sule also said, along with other NCP leaders, we'll have to wait to see how this story unfolds even further. Now, while of course this is a big blow to the NCP and definitely embarrassing for the tallest political figure in Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar, the BJP has a lot to gain, and it's not just limited to Maharashtra. The BJP is eyeing the 2024 Lok Sabha elections with 2 stalwart Maharashtra leaders, Eknath Shinde, who formed the government with the BJP last year, and Ajit Pawar, who joined this year, both on the BJP side. Vasudha Venugopal, my colleague, details how the BJP will benefit from this switch electorally.
So with a large part of the NCP joining hands with the BJP and with Ajit Pawar himself being inducted as the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, the political dynamics of the state has changed. Now, there are many questions as to how this will impact the working of the Mahavikas Aghadi, or what kind of impact it will have on opposition unity, but that is for time to tell. What we understand is also that all of this is happening at a time when the BJP is making concerted efforts to improve its organizational strength and also increase its outreach with allies, both former and present, to optimize its performance in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Maharashtra is very critical for any party politically and economically, and it also sends the 2nd highest number of MPs to the parliament. What we understand is that the BJP, when it goes with NCP, also manages to increase the prospects of its geographical canvas. For instance, Ajit Pawar is seen as a very important leader from the western belt of Maharashtra. Similarly, Chhagan Bhujbal is somebody who comes from Nashik, which is the onion belt. And then you have someone like Dhananjay Munde, who comes from Beed in Marathwada. And then you have other leaders like Dilip Kesarkar or Uday Samant, who are already part of Shiv Sena and part of the Maharashtra cabinet. And then you also have someone like Sunil Tatkare, who joined the cabinet yesterday from NCP. These are leaders from Konkan. Now, all of these regions are seen as challenges for the BJP. So, in some ways, the party, which was seen as an important, prominent figure in Vidarbha, is now also trying to improve its geographical prospects. That is why alliances with NCP and Shiv Sena are going to be of advantage to the BJP. Similarly, when it comes to the Maratha voter base or the OBC voter base, it can be an added benefit. For instance, Marathas form 1/3 of the population, and they are a dominant community when it comes to the agrarian rural economy of the state. They are very important when it comes to cooperatives, and 12 of the many chief ministers that the state has seen till now come from this community. So the BJP has also been working towards increasing its outreach with the Marathas, and having a Maratha, Eknath Shinde, as the chief minister and a Maratha, Ajit Pawar as a deputy CM is also going to consolidate its position in the Maratha voters, or this is what the BJP thinks. Similarly, there are of course challenges. We know that from 2014 to 2019, the BJP tried very hard to build a very strong Maratha voter base. It brought in reservation. It also worked on representation. But in 2019, if you see, the NCP also projected Sharad Pawar as the most important Maratha leader, and it made the electoral battle all about Delhi versus Maharashtra, because Sharad Pawar had then received a notice from ED, and the NCP had a campaign that centered around the harassment of Sharad Pawar, and which is why a lot of us actually think that NCP tally also went up in 2019. So these are some of the challenges that the BJP will have to face, because Sharad Pawar has also said that he will rebuild his party, and this is not a new situation for him. Similarly, getting someone like Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar to work together, also with the smaller allies, remember the BJP has a lot of smaller allies in Maharashtra, will also be a tough task for the BJP. But as of now, it looks like the party has put together a more formidable alliance as opposed to what it had in 2019.
So after this revolt in the NCP in Maharashtra, many questions are being raised over the future of other such regional political parties across other states. The BJP says that after the NCP in Maharashtra, now there will be a split in the JDU in Bihar, and then other regional parties will also get weaker due to nepotism. But Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's JDU dismisses these predictions and calls them mere daydreaming. Here's our report.
The BJP's attempt at political premonition in Bihar, which was the venue of the first opposition meet in June. BJP leaders say that the Maharashtra NCP story will repeat in Bihar too.
देखिए बड़ी संख्या में लोग हम लोगों के भी संपर्क में हैं, लेकिन अब किसको लेंगे नहीं लेंगे, लेना कि नहीं लेना, बहुत सारी चीज़ों पर निर्भर करता है। लेकिन कुल मिलाकर एक अस्थिरता का माहौल है, एक जनता दलियों के अंदर एक उदासी है, लोगों का अपना भविष्य अंधकार में दिखाई पड़ रहा है, उनको लग रहा है कि नीतीश कुमार के बाद क्या होगा।
Faced with this statement and the general fear, the JDU is preparing itself. Sources say Nitish Kumar is working hard to keep his MLAs and MPs together. The Bihar Chief Minister is believed to have met each one of the JDU MP and MLAs over the course of 4 days.
कोई असर नहीं पड़ेगा, बल्कि विपक्षी दल जो हैं उनके इस कारनामों से और मजबूती के साथ एक होंगे, और ये उनका कारनामा जो है ये इस बात का प्रमाण है कि वो घबराए हुए हैं।
The developments in Maharashtra are being closely watched among all key opposition constituents on the possible impact on their own fortunes and their bargaining abilities in the run-up to 2024.
जो लोग इसको परिवारवाद वगैरह का नाम देते हैं, आप लोकतंत्र का अपमान कर रहे हैं। इसमें ताजपोशी नहीं होती है। आप चुनाव में जाते हैं, लोगों के मध्य जाते हैं, अपने मुद्दे रखते हैं, और बीजेपी जैसी पार्टी हारती है इन क्षेत्रीय दलों के समक्ष। इसलिए क्षेत्रीय और राष्ट्रीय के युग्मक बाइनरी से लोगों को उलझाने की कोई कोशिश ना करें, उसी में लोकतंत्र का भला है।
All eyes will be on the next opposition unity meet. This as the BJP attempts to expand the NDA, reaching out to some of its old allies and even aligning with parties like Chirag Paswan's LJP faction. The opposition's hope will be to at least keep its flock together. With Manish Kumar in Patna, Bureau Report, NDTV.
We'll wait to see whether there's any truth to that. But the BJP seems to have completed a full circle for the quote-unquote betrayal it faced in Maharashtra in the year 2019. Last year, it was the Shiv Sena that the BJP benefited from. It was a Shiv Sena split. And this year, it was the NCP on the losing side. My colleague Akhilesh Sharma explores how the BJP has come full circle from 2019 to now.
First was done by Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray. That time, these two parties, they fought elections together. But when it came to the question of chief ministership, Uddhav Thackeray insisted that he would be the CM for first 2.5 years. And that led to break off of this alliance. And after that, Uddhav Thackeray joined hands with Sharad Pawar and also with the Congress and formed this Maha Vikas Aghadi. So that time, if you remember, there was a president rule in the state, and that president was lifted at the early hours of the morning, and that point of time Mr. Ajit Pawar supported BJP and joined hands with Devendra Fadnavis. But now we have come to know a few days ago that Sharad Pawar, Mr. Pawar claimed that actually it was his googly, because he wanted to expose BJP's hunger for power and he wanted the president rule to be lifted. That's why he actually supported that idea at that point of time. So BJP was not only betrayed by Uddhav Thackeray but was also betrayed by Mr. Sharad Pawar, and that's why Mr. Devendra Fadnavis has now taken the revenge with both Uddhav Thackeray and with Mr. Sharad Pawar. And of course Mr. Shinde's rising ambitions, they have also been put break by the BJP, and of course BJP's operation has been very clearly targeted towards the mission 2024, because BJP wants to win maximum number of seats out of 48 Lok Sabha seats in Maharashtra, and that is why now BJP has joined hands with Mr. Eknath Shinde and also with Mr. Ajit Pawar, and that will also help the BJP in consolidation of votes in different areas, and that will also actually exposes these two regional stalwarts, Mr. Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray, who have been humiliated by the BJP now.
Our special focus now. It has been 2 months of ethnic violence in the state of Manipur, and normalcy still seems far from becoming a reality. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh has held a crucial security review meet, and it has been decided that additional security will be provided for farmers for agricultural activities. But how have agricultural activities been impacted? As more than 100 lives have been lost in the violence, NDTV's ground report shows you the loss of livelihood.
The Indian Army and the Assam Rifles in Manipur, guarding farmers as they work in their fields. These peaceful fields have seen gun battles and deaths in the past few months. The Assam Rifles say it's an initiative to help locals move back to normalcy. The fringe areas between the Imphal Valley on my left and the tribal villages in the hill districts on my right are areas that have seen gunfire, gun battles that have cost human lives. But there is not only a problem of loss of lives, there is also a problem of loss of livelihood. This security that is being provided by the security forces at a critical time like this is not only ensuring saving lives, but also saving livelihoods. However, not all farmers have managed to return. Many are stuck in relief camps because gun battles are still raging in their villages, and movement is restricted to control the situation.
अभी हो रहा ही नहीं, लड़ाई से हम लोग छोड़ के आ गया, और हमारा उधर पहाड़ी में हम लोग खेती करता है, अदरक सब लगा के रखा हुआ है, वो भी सब छोड़ के आ गया. हम लोग अभी बहुत परेशान होके बैठा हुआ है. हो सके तो ये सर्व करने वाला होने से तो बहुत खुशी के बात होंगे.
घर संपत्ति सब कुछ जला दिया, घर जाने के लिए भी मुश्किल हो गया है. अभी रिलीफ कैंप में हूँ, लेकिन खाने पीने के लिए सफिशिएंट नहीं है. भविष्य में क्या होगा कुछ पता नहीं.
This village in the fringe areas is seeing a return of villagers due to efforts of the security forces. This is sowing season and critical for farmers. A little over a month ago, this village on the border between Kangpokpi and Imphal East districts was witnessing gun battles.
उस समय तो ऐसे हुआ था, हम लोग सब भाग गए थे गांव छोड़ के. अभी हम लोग लगभग 21-22 घर थे. अभी लगभग हम लोग 16-17 घर वापस आ गए, बाकी सब भी आने वाला है. अभी यहाँ में पहला जो स्थिति था वो माहौल नहीं है. अभी यहाँ से यहाँ बिल्कुल ठीक हो गया लग रहा. हमारा यहाँ गांव का माहौल थोड़ा धीरे-धीरे ठीक हो गया वो सिक्योरिटी आने के बाद. अभी तो 90% पॉपुलेशन घर वापस आ गया.
This change is a result of the combination of combing operations, creating no-go areas for both communities, and a strict check on movement. The border security force is guarding this particular village to keep the situation peaceful. Every vehicle entering these areas is checked by the Assam Rifles to enforce a buffer zone between the two warring ethnic communities. No one is allowed to go without identity and purpose being ascertained. On the fringes of the Imphal Valley, bordering the hill areas, villages in Manipur saw a lot of violence. Villagers left their homes in fear, but now they are returning. And they are returning because this is a crucial time for them, as this is the sowing season. This is a village we visited a little over a month ago, and at that time there were hardly any inhabitants. But now they are coming back with the confidence that has been given to them in the presence of security forces. With camera person G.D. Shankar, in the fringe areas of the Imphal Valley and the hills in Manipur, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Moving on to the other big story now. Industrialist Anil Ambani was questioned by the Enforcement Directorate today in an alleged case filed under the Foreign Exchange Management Act, or FEMA, according to sources. The chief of the Reliance Group had reached the offices of the agency in Mumbai at 10 a.m. and he left after recording his statement. My colleague Arvind Gunasekar joining us for more on this. And Arvind, what is this new case that the Enforcement Directorate has filed, and what have been the other cases against the Reliance Group chief?
The Enforcement Directorate has registered a fresh FEMA case of Foreign Exchange Management Act violation case against Anil Ambani, the industrialist Anil Ambani, for allegedly violating the provisions of foreign exchange in affairs of his company. So what we are being told is that the Enforcement Directorate is currently looking into some of the investments that have happened in the companies of Anil Ambani, and also some of the outward remittances outside the country are also being looked by the Enforcement Directorate, and that's why the Enforcement Directorate has registered this fresh Foreign Exchange Management Act violation case against Anil Ambani. Though FEMA is a civil proceeding, even though FEMA being a civil proceeding, today the Enforcement Directorate issued summons to Anil Ambani to appear before the agency, and as per the summons, Anil Ambani appeared before the Mumbai office of Enforcement Directorate, and he was questioned for almost 3 to 4 hours is what we are being told by our sources. So the agency has got some details from Anil Ambani, and the agency is going through the details that have been submitted by Anil Ambani, and also the agency has also got other books of accounts of his companies. So the agency is looking into the books of accounts and also his statements. So if at all if the agency comes to a conclusion that there proves to be a case of alleged violation of foreign exchange management, forex laws, then the agency might impose a monetary penalty on Anil Ambani and also his group of companies. For now, the adjudication is happening, and what we are being told is that if at all if the agency finds that they need more information from Anil Ambani, then the agency will be issuing first summons to Anil Ambani in the case of FEMA. Also, very importantly, this is not the first time a central agency is probing Anil Ambani. Even in the case of employees' health insurance in the state, in the former state of Jammu and Kashmir, which is currently a union territory, even in that particular case, Anil Ambani's Reliance General Insurance is also being probed by the Central Bureau of Investigation for alleged irregularities in that particular case. So even in that particular case, his company is being probed by the Central Bureau of Investigation. And also very importantly, in the year 2020, the Enforcement Directorate also questioned Anil Ambani in the case of alleged money laundering involving S-Bank and former S-Bank promoter Rana Kapoor. Also very importantly, even the Income Tax Department has also initiated a tax evasion proceedings against Anil Ambani for allegedly not disclosing some of the accounts, some of the deposits in 2 Swiss bank accounts. Even that, the Income Tax Department also has initiated a probe against him.
Right, thanks very much for joining us with those details. While the Central Agency Enforcement Directorate questioned Anil Ambani, the Central Bureau of Investigation, or the CBI, filed a charge sheet against Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav and his parents and former Chief Ministers of Bihar, Lalu Yadav and Rabri Devi, in the Land for Jobs alleged scam. This has come as a major setback for the Rashtriya Janata Dal, the RJD, in Bihar. Tejasvi and Lalu Yadav have been at the forefront of efforts to unite the opposition, and they played a key role even in organizing the mega opposition meet of 16 opposition parties that was held in Patna on the 23rd of June. The Land for Jobs alleged scam involves people allegedly being given employment in the Indian Railways from 2004 to 2009, when Lalu Prasad Yadav was the railway minister, in return for land parcels being gifted or sold at cheap rates to the Yadav family. And meanwhile, it was a marvelous Monday for investors. Markets hit a record high for the third consecutive session. Sensex gained 486 points and it ended at 65,205, while Nifty gained 133 points and ended at 19,322. Foreign fund inflows were a major reason behind the market's rally. Foreign portfolio investors invested 47,148 crore Indian rupees in Indian equities in the month of June, which is the highest monthly inflow since August 2022. Another reason for the rally was global markets gaining.
वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप के लिए तो बिल्कुल फ्रेश होके जाना है और सबसे मेन है कि मुझे ऑलरेडी 16 पॉइंट मिल चुके हैं डायमंड लीग फाइनल के लिए। जो भी हमको पॉइंट चाहिए वो मुझे लगता है कि इनफ होंगे मुझे मतलब फाइनल में पहुंचाने के लिए। खुद को पुश करके और ज्यादा ट्रेनिंग करनी है और इंजरी को भी ठीक करना है और फिटनेस को भी बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा करना है। 90 मीटर का बस वही है कि सही टाइम चाहिए अभी और वो कहीं ना कहीं लगने वाली है। बस वही है कि और उसका कोई प्रेशर नहीं है सही बिल्कुल भी, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि उन एथलीट्स के बीच में जीतना ही बहुत बड़ी अपने आप में एक बात है। थ्रो जब भी लगनी होगी वो बिल्कुल लगेगी, लेकिन सबसे पहले मेरा टारगेट रहता है कि मुझे जीतना है कंपटीशन।